I'm telling you, Boston's modern day roster in 25 or upcoming 26 is going to be one of the absolute worst. You have Pasta, McAvoy, and a freshly acquired 8.25 million AAV flop in net. I've been searching for the most difficult rebuild, and today we might have found it. The people have been asking for a Boston rebuild for a while now, but I've been afraid. It's tough out here. It's not a good situation to be in, but I can't let that stop me. We are going to win a Stanley Cup with the Boston Bruins. I've said before, the absolute worst place that you can be as a team is mid. Not bad enough to pick up top-end talent in the draft, not good enough to compete for the cup. That is exactly where the Boston Bruins are right now. There's a few players that won't allow them to be horrible. Pastrnak, McAvoy, maybe Swayman. Are we saying he's good? I don't really think so. But what does this mean for a rebuild? We can't trash it all. First of all, Pastrnak, he's on a no-move clause for quite a few years. Not only that, but I mean, you're crazy to give up a player like David Pastrnak just so you can be horrible, so you can draft a player like David Pastrnak. There's a few ways that we can navigate this, turning ourselves into contenders, but the path is not as straightforward. A lot of issues come from the no move and no trade clauses. All of this money is locked up. Players I can't move, players who, frankly, at their current level and with their current contracts, just aren't going to help us win. The Lindholms and Zadorov are the big players that fit this bill to a T, but even players without clauses like Middlestat, Geeky, 5 million, 5.7 million for both of these guys. They're just not good contracts, not good deals, not good business. But that's not to say there's no bright spots. Obviously, we have our good players, Pasta, McAvoy, maybe Swayman, but definitely James Haggins, who was drafted 7th overall in last year's entry draft. He's going to be huge, and there's a couple of other people here who are actually pretty good looking. They might not be top line guys, but there's a couple of players, young talent, who can definitely develop in a couple of years and be great bottom 6 pieces. Outside of players entirely, we also have 2 first-round picks this year and all of our first-round picks in all of the years going forward. So while we are in a super tough spot right now, there is a way ahead, a golden path that we can follow to win a Stanley Cup championship with David Pastrnak on this team. Speaking of Pasta, I'm actually going to make him the captain of this squad, bring some unity and cohesion to this unit. McAvoy and Lindholm are completely good with the A's right now, although Lindholm, full honesty, is probably getting traded as soon as I can trade him. Speaking of trades, there's a few I want to make right off the bat. Number one, Geeky, 5.5 million, 6 years for a 27-year-old top 6 forward, 83 overall player. It just doesn't add up. Not going to be a good deal for us, but what would be a good player to have is Kevin Korchinski. I doubt this goes 1-for-1, but if we add a couple sweeteners with some draft picks, I think we can get this deal done. I'm going to throw in our 3rd-round pick this year and a 4th we got from Tampa. That's a done deal. I'm actually going to double dip from Chicago here. Lucas Reichel and Oliver Moore would make this team a hell of a lot younger and cheaper. I'm going to see if I can do it 1-for-2, just Casey Middlestat. He's getting paid a little bit too much. I don't think it's worth it, and I am going to have to add in a couple of draft picks. 4th and a 6th. Hopefully that's enough. It is. I was considering keeping Jeremy Swayman on the squad, but it's the last year before his no movement clause kicks in. At 8.25 million for a 26-year-old who's only 87 overall, he probably doesn't develop that much more. It might be better if we just trade him for someone younger who's going to develop into a stud and not cost as much when we're trying to compete. The San Jose Sharks have an interest in Jeremy Swayman. I'm going to look for Yaroslav Askarov. We can definitely squeeze them for a little bit more, though. I might try and get their 1st-round pick from Edmonton. Jeremy Swayman, Pavel Zacha, Yaroslav Askarov, 1st-round pick from Edmonton, and just a player to make the players work out. Does this go through? No. Let me just add some more picks in there. Hopefully it does. There we go. What I've done here is made us pretty bad, especially on offense. This is going to be our main focus. We have major issues up and down the lineup. On defense, it's not as bad. Korchinski and McAvoy are here for the long haul. Zadorov, Lindholm, they might be moved off of. In between the pipes, we're just waiting for Yaroslav Askarov to develop. Hopefully, my goal is to be a little bit worse this year, get a high pick as we can, wait for Hagens to come in and develop, wait for our new picks to come in and develop, and then maybe get an acquisition in free agency. Hopefully, this is a perfect start to what could be the most difficult rebuild in NHL 26. What? We've played 29 games, and why is Charlie McAvoy leading in points? Oliver Moore on the fourth line has 12 points? Guess I'm just gonna run with it. I mean, if Macadoodle wants to dog out, be my guest. Despite putting together an absolute dumpster fire of a team, we are staring a playoff spot in the mouth. Oh my God, we made the playoffs just to play Florida in the first round. I'm simulating it. There's no way we win. Yeah, we lost the first three, and then we got swept in the first round. This is why this is going to be the worst rebuild of all time, because even though we make a garbage team, we still have Pasta and Macadoodle carrying us into the playoffs, only to lose in the first round and get a worse pick in the draft. All right, well, there's only one thing left to do. That's sim to the draft. Tampa Bay win the Stanley Cup another year where the cup stays in Florida. We do pick up the 16th overall pick from Toronto. That was our only pick in the lottery, though. This is going to be a pretty important draft for the future of this team. We have 3 first-round picks that are all pretty late, but if we look at this draft class, there are 2 franchise medium players. I think if we can somehow trade up and take whatever one goes second, which should be easier to trade for, that would be a huge deal. I think they're both left wings. We get James Hagens in at center, this franchise player on the left, and Pasta on the right. That could be the best first line in the league. There's also, we don't have as much information on him, but Zane Yakina, 6'4", left defenseman, 212 pounds, potentially elite high potential, a defensive defenseman with a similar style to Zdeno Chara. If we can't trade up for a franchise level player, I would love to take Zane Jinjana just because he's like Chara. First overall is Gavin McKenna, meaning we're going to look for Will Tan. But first, we got to trade for this second overall pick. I'm going to just try and put all 3 of our, let me start with 2. I don't know how difficult this is going to be. I think we're definitely going to have to go with all 3. So I'm going to do all 3 first round picks for the second overall, and we're going to need more. What about our second round pick as well? Just every single pick we have in the draft, and it does go through. Boston Bruins trade up to pick number 2 overall to select Wilton, an 82 overall franchise medium potential player. Playmaking on the left wing, and on the right wing is going to be Pasta. In the middle, it's going to be James Hagens. That's the only thing I'm going to do in this draft, though. We got our franchise guy. Honestly, of the way that things could have worked out, having 2 franchise potential players so we could trade up and take one of them, probably the best way it could have gone. I'm going to tidy the lines up, do my re-signing, my money, my free agency. I'll see you guys at the start of season 2 with the brand new squad. I did toy around a little bit with free agency, but I think it's too soon. I do have $20 million, but it's too soon to make a big move. I did make a trade. Victor Arvidsson wanted $6 million for 3 years. I signed the deal and shipped him out for Kako. It's just too much, and Kako's on a 2-year deal. I think he has a little bit of room to progress. He's 25 with elite low right now. James Hagens made the lineup. He's an 81. I have him on that second line, and I've got Will Tan, Lindholm, and Pasta on the first line. Will Tan might have an absolute battle for the Calder this year with Gavin McKenna, but I think he's got a pretty good line around him. They're +5 overall with chemistry, so this should be pretty good. On defense, I'm rocking Korchinski next to McAvoy. That should go pretty good. McAvoy had a pretty good season last year, and in between the pipes, Yaroslav Askarov is developing very nicely. A pretty good looking future for our guys. I'm going to give Will Tan a season goal of trying to get that Calder. I think he's definitely capable of it, and it would have some huge benefits to speed, poise, and a potential likelihood increase. He could go up to franchise high. Honestly, at this point, I don't really care how the season goes. I don't think we're good enough to win a cup, but also I don't really think we're bad enough to justify not at least flirting with a playoff spot. I'd be pretty pissed if we were the worst team in the league. I mean, we would still get our pick, but there are a few expectations on this crew now. While I let this simulate and we are doing pretty well, I have a question for you. Have you ever considered hitting that subscribe button? I mean, if this is the first time you've ever seen me, don't worry about it. But if you've seen me before and you like my videos and you want to see more of them, please subscribe. This is purely selfish of me because it helps me out a ton. That's why I want you to subscribe. So, I mean, even if this is the first time you see me, just hit that sub button. Running up to the end of this season, we're on the edge of a playoff spot again. Hopefully we make it, and hopefully we make it past the first round this time. We're stringing together a couple of wins. I think we might actually lock this up early. Wow, we're on a tear right now, winning every single game. And of course, as soon as I open my mouth, we lose to fucking Buffalo. And we've got the reigning champions, Tampa Bay Lightning, in the first round. First, let's see how our crew did this season. We went 43, 31, and 8. Pasternak had 93 points as a 94 overall. I would like to see a little bit more. I feel like he always scores more in real life. He did put the puck in more, and some of that might have been Will Tan feeding him, the young playmaker who only scored 62 points. I don't know if that's going to be enough for a Calder, but if I feel like they fed off each other a little bit. I don't think Pasta scored 48 last year. Macadoodles got 64. Honestly, a little bit of a tough season for us. A lot of negatives out here, including the new guy, Capo Caca, was minus 16. Let me see how Will Tan did compared to other rookie skaters. Okay, he's definitely taking the Calder home. Almost doubled second place in points. He was a negative, but I mean, it's not really fair. He was feeding off Pasternak the whole season, but Pasternak fed off of him a little bit. Enough for the regular season, though. Let's lock it in. Let's see what our boys can do in the postseason. Last season, we faced the reigning champs in the Panthers and got swept. This season, we have the reigning champs in the Tampa Bay Lightning. I would love to make it out of round 1. I don't have hopes for a cup, but even if we don't make it out of this round, I would just like a win. But we're losing game 1 and 2 in the exact same fashion, and then game 3 as well. Please don't get swept again. We got swept again. Back-to-back sweeps in the first round. Boston is not having a good time. But at least we have our future secured. Will Tan does win the Calder Trophy. Carolina Hurricanes won the Stanley Cup. And in a few years, that will be us. We just got to make it out of the first round. See what we got in this entry draft. I haven't viewed the draft class at all. Might actually trade back to the end of the first round. See if I can get an elite medium player in Eli McCamey. I've got pick 21. Let me go back to pick 27. There's no way Florida wants their first round pick. They don't. They want to trade away. But I'm going to give them mine. It's that, I mean, that logic doesn't really track, but I don't think EA is really tracking logic at all. Is there a possibility I pick up Pensasmiess with this? That would be absurd. No, they're not very interested, but I do want to make this work. This doesn't really make any sense at all why the Florida Panthers would ever take this trade, but I think with EA's logic, we can get it to go. That is the dumbest trade I've ever seen. Florida Panthers do not want their draft picks. That's why it's red, is they want to trade for players. They want to compete now, and I just traded up with them because their draft pick is going to be less value. That's so stupid. Let's see if McCamey is actually elite medium. If he is, he's not, but he is still a pretty good pick. 68 overall is better than all the players going ahead of him. I'm going to trade down again. Who can I scam the Ducks out of, though? I don't know if I can scam them out of Beckett Sinecki, but I do think I can get this to work. They have an interest in Yokachuru. I think I'm going to have to add some picks to get this to work. This might be genuinely the worst trade of all time if I can get this to go for like below 4th round picks. If this goes through right here, I mean, that's the most diabolical trade I've ever seen. Now I can take Nico Tupperware here. Confirmed elite low player. He's only a 53 overall, but he's going to develop and he's going to have trade value no matter what. I think we could. That might, honestly, there was no flash to that draft, but Pensasmiess and Beckett Sinecki for trading down picks and giving bad picks. Is trading down in the draft like just the most broken play of all time? I'm going to hit these re-signings. No big moves again, but we do have a ton of cap space. The question is, do I spend it or do I save it for re-signings. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. I'll see you guys at the start of season number 3. Things are looking pretty good right now. Before we go, I do have a couple of trades I want to rip. Lindholm did just get off the no move clause, and I'm going to move off him. I'm going for Lundell from the Panthers. Less money, same amount of years, different role. He's going to be a center. I don't think it goes 1-for-1. We do need a little bit more in here. They want everything I'm putting in here. I just need to sweeten the value a touch. I need a little bit more. I think this should go through. It does. Another player I'm trading is a player I just re-signed. Same case that we had last year. Re-signed him, but he just wants to. I'm just re-signing him so I can keep his trade value and trade him. It's kind of scummy, but I mean, where do you get off? Mason Laurie, 84 overall, top 4 defenseman, asking for $7 million at 26 years old. I don't think so. That's how Boston got in this damn mess. This would be the second defenseman I'm moving off, so I definitely need to pick up another defenseman to replace him. The question is, who's got the guy? Levshunov could be the guy. I did pick him up, I think, in my Oilers rebuild. It didn't really work out that well, but he's on $1.8 million for 3 years. Even at an 83 overall, that's a steal, but in 3 years, he's elite medium, only 21 years old. He could be a lot higher. I think I got to try and make this work. First and second round, all my picks this year. Okay. I probably shouldn't have done that. I got too greedy. I got too hasty. I think this can still work out for us, though. The lines are ready. Will Tan is now franchise high, 89 overall at 19 years old, the second year of his rookie contract. I think we've got a lot of good things going on, but we almost have too much, like every single player on this roster, like except for, yeah, we got Patrick Kane down here, by the way. I picked him up in free agency. He's only going to be here this year, and he's on the 4th line because Lucas Reichel, James Haggins, my batters are Capo Kakko, Beckett Sinecki, Samoskevich, Oliver Moore, Poitus. All of these guys can develop. They're all young, but I don't have like all the ice time for them. So it would almost be better to package a couple of them together and get some better assets. Or I think they will just develop over time no matter what. I'm just going to play it as we go. I mean, we have a great first line. I still want Haggins to be that first line center, but he's taking his damn time developing. That might be something I look for because, you know, I like these guys. I like Lundell. I like Lindholm, but preferably as a second and third center. I'd like an offensive goat up there, really. On defense, things look kind of rough. We're a little bit drained. We've got a 79 overall out here, but Levshunov can develop a ton. Korchinski continue to develop. And Zadorov is still a solid piece. In between the pipes, Askarov is looking very nice. 88 overall, higher than Swayman was, but we're only paying him $6.4 million. That's $2 million less. Current and only goal for this season is to just make it out of the first round. I still don't think we're top tier competitors, but I think we can make it out of the first round. And I think coming up, honestly, as we assemble that first line, we could have some MVP candidates in between Pasternak, Will Tan, and probably not Haggins, but maybe if he goes up there and dogs out. The future is very bright. I think the rough spots are behind us. We're kind of entering that goated tier, but I think it might be 1 or 2 more seasons before we truly go on some runs. We are dead last in our division right now. I think we can go on a run. Every time I trade away my first overall pick, my first round pick, we play like shit, and it ends up being a pick I really would have liked to have had. But I think we just lost to Buffalo. We might not turn this around. I swear to God, if that first round pick is top 5, I'm going to lose my mind. I thought after the first 2 seasons, I thought there's no way we get a lottery pick. We've had this development. We've acquired some new players. Yeah, I got rid of old players, and maybe I miscalculated their contribution to us winning. But we have a better goalie now. We have another franchise player now. We have better centers now. I mean, we have a higher overall team now. And no, the season that I give away the first round pick, we missed the playoffs. We're in the lottery. I'm never trading for Levshunov again. It never works out. 35, 37, and 10. Pasta finally got 100 points. He's a 96 overall with 57 goals. Let the season go. This is a wash. I thought I was cooking. I was not. We're gonna get the best draft pick we've got so far, and I'm not going to have it. I thought things were looking so good. I gave that big speech about how we're going to be contenders soon, and now look at us. We're frauds. We're jokes. We're being laughed at. Me and you, we're being laughed at. Chicago's going to get the 12th overall pick. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a lot higher. I thought we were a lot worse, so I don't feel as bad about that. But still, 12th overall pick, come on, man. I'm about to lock in heavy, really, really work on this team. I'll see you guys at the start of next season. I'm not going to come in, commentate, or anything. I'll update you guys on the lines, but I just got to lock in. All right. It's all done. Honestly, I didn't make that many moves, and I don't know if the moves are that good, but I did make 2 trades and 1 free agent signing. Clayton Keller traded for Marco Rossi and traded for Jakob Chutrin. We'll see how this goes. Everything's kind of a mess. I hope center was just a big issue for us. Hagens is working on it. He's making his way up. He's an 85 now. I hope Marco Rossi, his role is a second line forward, but we like never had a great first line center. Hopefully he can be that guy. If we can't make the playoffs with this, we might be a little cooked. I also did pick up Spencer Knight in free agency because he was only asking for 1.8 million. I have no clue why. What matters is that this is the season. I'm not saying we're gonna win the cup this season. I am saying that hopefully we can win a playoff game. That's all I really want. I want to win 1 playoff game. How are we 12, 13, and 1? How are we negative? Am I tripping? Am I just fucking dumb? Fuck it. We're going for it. I'm putting Hagens up there. I'm throwing him into the fire. We're gonna let it ride. That was the line. I always wanted to be the line, but Hagens is taking his sweet ass time. We don't have time. We need wins. I'm throwing your ass in the fire, and if you don't play well, I'm throwing your ass to the wolves. Oh, I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. I know why we're losing. It's all the coach's fault. Well, your ass should have been fired, Marco. You're holding us back. Give me Wah. Give me Patty Wah. That's the reason we're losing. I know it. It's nothing to do with the team I've built. It was all the coach's fault all along. Boy, oh boy, I fucking figured it out. It was never the team. The real reason this is the hardest rebuild is because you've got this fucking snakehead head coach sabotaging this team, paid off by the opposition. He's sports betting on the games. He was doing that because he had a huge debt. He was in debt and his wife was gonna leave him. I fucking figured it out. It always was that damn coach. 46, 28, and 8 points. A little bit of a step back, but that was because of a slow start. Because the coach was sabotaging us. Only 1 player at a point per game, and it's Will Tan. David Pastrnak. What happened? He's only 32. Why is he regressing? Clayton Keller was negative. That second line still struggled. James Hagens, threw him in the fire, and he played pretty well. He didn't develop that much, but 62 points out of him, plus 17. I'm very proud of that. Very proud of this team, and hopefully this only means good things for us. We did pick up Patty Wah, and look at that. You pick up... Oh, damn, Sam Knight played like shit. Pick up Patty Wah. That's a Vezina-worthy season. Finally back in the playoffs. Round 1, we have the Montreal Canadiens. Please, all we want is 1 win. I'm okay if this season goes, and if we don't win a cup, if we don't make a deep run, just let me see a W next to that game. We get it. In our second game at Montreal, finally, Boston wins a playoff game against a rival, no less, and they win another. Can they take the series? We're going to find out next 2 games, game 4 and 5. We lose game 4 and lose game 5. On the ropes now. Can we win game 6 to take it to overtime? We can. First period, 3 goals each. Pasta, Keller, Reichel. Second period, only 1 goal from Kaden Guhle. Third period, Nick Suzuki puts us down. We're not going to make it out of the first round, but I'm very happy with that. We figured out what was wrong. It was the coach. Obviously, it was the coach. Next season, I'm ready to actually start competing and winning a Stanley Cup. Montreal does go on to win the Stanley Cup. We took them to 7. So honestly, maybe we're a lot closer than we think right now. I'm going to enter the entry draft right now. I think we have our first round pick. We do, but I'm going to trade back and trade some of my players. I'm going to try and pick up a stud here. Editor's note, editor FestiveFruits here. I'm going to do a huge time skip. I spent a lot of time in the draft trying to make trades. I ended up making 2 of them, but it took so long that by the time I got them through, my commentary was just vague ramblings, and it was really hard to cut together and be coherent. But here's what I did. I traded picks and Marco Rossi for Leo Carlsson to make my team better. Then I traded Clayton Keller and picks for Rutger McThroaty just so I could free up some cap space. My goal is to go into free agency, pick somebody up, and that's where I am right now in the live commentary. Oh my God. I'm gonna send an offer to Protus. Man, this is rough. He accepts. Pick up Dougie Hamilton for 1 year. That might be worth it. He accepts. I'm gonna try and ship Lindholm out to New York, please. Okay, just get it done. Oh man, this is tough. No lie, no cap. This rebuild is a lot harder than I thought it would be. If we don't win this season, I actually think we're just cooked. Pasta is regressing. He's a 92 now. Will Tan regressed a little bit, but he's only 21. We now have a ton of new faces. Haggins is finally on the rise. If we don't win this season, it genuinely might take probably 5 or 6 more years to get back to this point. Coach says we're good enough to compete for the cup, though. I'm going to agree with him. Our first full season with the new coach. We're going into 2030, about a month away from the trade deadline. If there's one thing that we are not, it is contenders for the Stanley Cup. I might have to fire the coach again. Our team is way too good for this to be our record. We have an amazing... I just don't get it. That's fine, though. We just have to sneak in and go on a miracle run. I believe it. The talent we have on this roster, we just have to get Will Tan to go on a generational playoff run. Or maybe I make the most goated pickup in the trade deadline right now. I'm giving away everything. Philip Forsberg's here. I like that. I do not remember the rebuild exactly, but I have had Forsberg before and I won, and I'm going to do it again. All right, Dougie's got to go. Definitely can get more out of this, though. I'm going to run this trade. I might have overpaid, but I got to pay as much as I can to get whatever I can because things are looking tough. Alex Vlasic for a first-round pick. I'll do that deal. I'm going to say I need more Wolfling's fishing. All right, 2 firsts, man. Whatever. Blow the team up. I'm going to let head coach pick the lines. He's got Haggins on the 4th line. That's ridiculous. Not going to let head coach pick him entirely. All right, this is what we're rocking with. Somehow Pasta. He's 33. That's old. I get it. Not everyone just plays goated when they're old, but god damn. We got to go on an absolute tear. And if this squad misses the playoffs, man, I don't know what to say. Oh my god. We were fighting with Toronto to make the playoffs, and we beat them in the last game of the season. 78 points, led the squad. What happened? What happened to Will Tan? 94 overall, franchise high, scoring 72 points. Okay, Philip Forsberg was a great pickup. This is the last year. If we cannot, actually win, I don't know what I'm going to do. Let's see how the first 3 games go. Please. We lose game 1, but thank God we win game 2. Come on, Boston. We lose game 3. I need some wins. Game 4, we win 6-3. The series is tied 2-2. We need everything we can get. We win game 5, 1 game away. Period 1, up 3-1. Pasta. Oh my God, Pasta. Thank you. Levshinov. Good lord. Finally, we make it out of the first round. Can we just get some momentum going? Round 2, we've got New York. That's okay. I like this matchup. Lose game 1. I'm not worried. Win game 2. Lose game 3. Down 2-1. Game 4. At home. And we take a W. Man, sim the series. I believe. Sim the series. Because I believe. Don't tell me about the draft class. Just tell me about how we win all the way to 7, and we've got the Florida Panthers, who they kick our ass. Yeah, they kicked our ass in the first playoff series we ever did. But I think in the simulation in the regular season, we've kind of owned them. Here, we're down 2-1. Game 4, tie it 2-2. Game 5, take the lead 3. Wait. Whoa. I did not mean to simulate that far. We made it. We're in the finals. We're in the Stanley Cup finals. And our opponent is the Chicago Blackhawks. Matthew Tkachuk, Sam Reinhart, they were all going off. But Pasta and Will Tan are also showing out. So is James Hagan. He has 16 points. 16 points on the third line. Why change it? Why change it if it's working? Let me check out who is on Chicago right now. Connor Bedard and Trevor Moore, 74 overall. Okay, wait, how many points does he have right now? He scored 52 in the regular season, and he has 12. What? What about on defense? Yo, my God, if we lose this series, I'm gonna lose my mind. This is the freest layup of all time, Boston. Somehow, we sneak into the playoffs. Somehow, we make it to the finals. What do I mean somehow? We have a great team. Oh my God, we're down 2-1 again, but we've come back from this before. Please don't go down 3-1. There, we tied it up 2-2. Going into game 5 at the home barn, take the advantage. 3-2 lead. Chicago is on the back foot, and we're going to take this victory in Chicago. First period, Bedard puts his team up. Second period, Bedard puts his team up more. Third period, we lose. The Stanley Cup Finals are going to game 7. It's been an absolute battle. Pastrnak is about ready to retire. And so my first period, we're down. Second period, 3-goal flurry from a little bit of depth. Samoskevich, Chutrin, and David Pasta. Is Pasta going to win a Conn Smythe? I don't know. I don't even know the point totals right now. Let's let this period play out. They're not out yet. They still have Connor Bedard, who I think has been racking up awards. I don't know for sure. They're within striking distance now. Shorthanded from Chicago. 10 minutes left. 1-goal lead. Come on, Boston. Just clutch it out. 5 minutes left. I'm going to hop in. 4 minutes, 17 seconds. To be exact. I'm not playing the game. We're going CPU versus CPU. David Pasta versus Connor Bedard. Here we go. Of course, our first line is not out there, but Chicago's first line is. Forsberg's out there, though, and Forsberg we trust. Good play. Get it deep. Kill the time. Run the game. Good forecheck. Oh, Protas could have hit backdoor to Forsberg right there. Just get it deep. Run it deep. 1 minute left. Macadoodle. Ooh, that's a dangerous area. Macadoodle. Get it up to Pasta. Pasta, just take it along the edge and shoot it. Shoot it. Oh, my God. 20 seconds. Empty net. 3-on-3 coming down the ice. Frondell has no stamina. Leo Carlson with 8 seconds left. Will Tan, take it up the sideline or go for a dangle or just shoot it in. That's game. 2-1. The Boston Bruins are Stanley Cup champions. I feel like so many of my rebuilds go this way, where I just play horrible. It doesn't work out until all of a sudden we go on a run. I barely made the playoff. And here's the thing is I always have a team that should be making the playoffs consistent. Whoa! I did not expect Askarov to win the Conn Smythe, but he dogged out. I just feel like I forgot entirely what I was saying, but doesn't matter. There's no point in complaining. We won a championship with Boston. Took what, 5 years? And that might be the most nervous I've ever been doing a rebuild in that last year, because genuinely, if it didn't go, I was going to be cooked, especially after the deals I made at the deadline. But that's what you do. You got to go all in. You got to risk it. Sometimes it pays off. I think of the rebuilds that I've called the most difficult, this might actually be the most difficult. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. Like the video if you enjoyed. Check out my Twitch. It's the first link in the description. Let me know what teams you want to see next. I'm seeing a lot of Nashville Predators. I saw a little bit of New York Rangers. Or if you have any other franchise ideas, I got to do a fantasy draft, 0 overall team, other things. Again, thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day, and goodbye.